Hello, dear Ayurveda enthusiasts, and welcome to my channel, Vanishri Ayurveda. Today, we are going to talk about the coronavirus and how to be safe in this outbreak of coronavirus all over the world. The first thing I want you guys to know out there is do not worry. The first thing you don't want to do is be stressed out about the virus, because the more you're stressed, the immunity would go down, and then you would be more susceptible to the virus. So the first thing to remember is to be live as stress free as you can. Now, let's see what Ayurveda has to say on how to prevent this disease. There are some things that you could do in order to be safe during this outbreak. So, the first thing is to build your immunity. Okay, if your immunity is strong, your body or your system to fight that disease has likely more chances than you falling sick with it and having multiple different side effects or side symptoms of that illness. So the first thing is to build your immunity. In Ayurveda says maximum diseases originate from your gut. That means that if your gut health is imbalanced, you're more susceptible to infections. So the first key is to keep your gut as healthy as possible. That means eat the right food for your constitution and see to it that you're eliminating or passing stools every day and you're not developing any digestive toxins in your system. The second is to eat a lot of fruits and vegetables that are seasonal right now, more so fruits with antioxidants. So that means berries, because they're great for your immune system. The second would be to get adequate sleep. Okay, sleep is very very important for your immune system to function properly. So getting adequate good night's sleep, about 6 to 8 hours where you're going to deep REM cycles of sleep, is very very important. If you're having insomnia or things like that, then I would certainly recommend to get those things fixed so that you can have a good night's sleep, because when you sleep well, your body gets the chance to cleanse itself and rejuvenate itself. The Another thing to remember is to avoid kapha aggravating foods, because coronavirus is a respiratory virus. Your kapha, that is the water and earth element, the kapha dosha, lives more here. This is the home for kapha. So your lungs, your chest, your heart is a home for kapha. And if you're eating more kapha aggravating foods, kapha is, or water and earth element, is likely going to increase in the lungs, right? So we do not want our lungs to be weaker or more prone to getting infections. So the first thing would be to avoid kapha aggravating foods. That includes dairy products. Yogurt is the worst. Gluten free, mostly like wheat, is very very heavy to digest. Anything that is deep fried or oily, like chicken wings or french fries, things like that. So I want you to avoid those things more, so that you can keep the home for kapha healthy or strong, so that it can fight even if you are exposed to the virus, right? Another important thing to remember is to avoid bad food combinations. One of the bad food combinations is dairy with fruits, and I will also put a suggestion or a link in the description below on what type of bad food combinations are out there, and if you are eating any of those, please stop doing that, because then it creates more digestive toxins and affects your immunity in turn. Another important thing to do is to this is the immune system part. The other part we need to look at is to how we can strengthen our respiratory system, right? So that if our respiratory system is strong, there are more chances of us fighting the disease well. So the first thing that you could do to strengthen your respiratory system is pranayama. So some breathing techniques, like Ujjayi. Have you ever heard of victory breath? Basically, you have to breathe through the back of your throat. So So this is a very good strengthening breath for your respiratory system. It also creates a high amount of oxygenation in your system, and in turn increasing your immunity, strengthening your lungs. Also, it increases the lung capacity, makes your lungs flexible, and can hold a lot more oxygen in. Another thing that you could do is yoga. Yoga is great for immunity. So different types of postures, but more so forward bending postures are great. Meditation is something that is amazing to reduce stress, also to increase the prana. So once your vitality is increased, your in turn your immunity would increase, and all the systems would work properly. So increasing your prana, that is the vital life force energy, is very, very important, and that could be certainly achieved by meditating at least 20 minutes a day. Um, there was another research that's been going on right now, is if you keep your nasal passages wet or moist, there are less chances of the virus sticking to the mucosal lining or the nasal, passage basically. So in Ayurveda has an amazing lifestyle thing, like a small lifestyle thing that you could do. It's called nasya. So what you guys can do is, before going to bed or going outside in the morning, you could just put 4 or 5 drops of plain sesame oil, or even like our regular ghee, in the nostrils. And the way you're going to do that is, you're going to lie down on the bed, and your neck should be at the edge of the bed. Basically, it should be hanging back, and then you're going to close the left nostril, put 5 drops in your right, close the right, put 5 drops in your left, and then sniff it in, and then just gently massage your sinuses, and stay like that for 2 to 3 minutes, and then you can get up and get going. This is a simple practice to do every morning, which will keep your nasal passages oleated, and more so during the winters, because everything gets dry. So this is a great practice to do, and it will also help you stay away from a flu or any other respiratory disorder as well. Excuse me. Avoid handshakes, because the first way to transfer is through touching someone else's hand. So you could use any other form of greeting. Namaste is great, or bowing down is great, but avoid handshakes, because hands are the best carriers for any bacteria or virus, right? Also, to keep your respiratory system strengthened or strong, the best thing to do is to use a good amount of spices in your cooking. And the spices that have affinity towards lungs are black pepper, turmeric. So use ginger. So you could use these spices a lot in your cooking, because these are thermogenic spices, and they help your respiratory system, or more so your lungs. Um, Also, drinking teas and staying hydrated can certainly help during this time. So, the more you're hydrated, you're giving your immune system the chance to flourish or thrive, or be very, very strong in your system. So, keep yourself hydrated. Teas like tulsi tea. I don't know if you've ever heard about this herb called tulsi. It's holy basil, and it's an amazing herb for your respiratory system. So just drinking 1 cup of tulsi tea every day might help. Also, it will help with other respiratory disorders too, not just corona. Like, it will help with flu, with colds, coughs, regular common cold viruses, and things like that. So drinking 1 cup of holy basil tea or tulsi tea every day would be great. Another tea that might help is licorice. Licorice root tea or yashti madhu also has a great affinity towards lungs, and it can certainly help if you're congested or already are sick with colds and cough. Um, Also, there is another amazing decoction that might help, or in Ayurveda we call it kadha, that might help. with like a tea basically that will help to strengthen your respiratory system. So the first tea that you could drink in the morning on empty stomach could be 1 cup of water. Add a half a teaspoon of turmeric to it. Add one tulsi tea bag, 1 stick of cinnamon, or if the stick is too big, you can add half a stick of cinnamon, two or three black peppercorns, or you could do like 2 pinches of black pepper powder. Um, and ginger, like grated fresh ginger, and then just boil this for a while, like 2 or 3 minutes, and then strain it and drink it in the morning. You could also add a little bit of milk to it, because milk acts as a carrier for the herbs or the spices to reach your lungs, because milk has affinity towards lungs. um, Another great thing, I don't know if you guys ever heard about amla. Amla is called Indian gooseberry, and it is one of the richest sources of vitamin C. And as most of the people would know, vitamin C is great for immune system. So if you want to kick up the immune response, by eating one amla every day might help, or even like taking amla powder in the form of tea might help. So doing introducing amla in your diet would certainly help. There is another formulation that we make with amla called Prash in Ayurveda. It's like a form of a jelly or a jam consistency, and you have to eat 1 teaspoon of it every day to strengthen your entire system. So you could certainly do that. Yeah, and these are some tips that might help you in this chaotic time of coronavirus outbreak. And another important thing to remember is to not to worry, because if you worry, you are going to be stressed out about it, your immune system is going to suffer, and stress causes a whole lot of other things as well. So we do not want to be stressed out about it, and stay safe out there. You have a very positive mindset, and let me know if you have questions in the comment section, and I'll be more than happy to help you guys. Stay tuned and be safe. Thank you for watching.